Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing another premiere draft for Ikoria. I am trying something else out with the mic today, trying a different spot, so we'll see how the audio quality holds up. I'm still getting the new microphone figured out, but I think this will sound a little better than previous episodes, so let us see. I don't really have anything on the agenda for drafting today. We can basically play whatever looks fun. I've tried out most of the archetypes I've wanted to so far, so we'll see what pops up and what we can, what colors are open. Interesting shuffler effect. Okay. I'm not really interested in doing this unpredictable cyclone stuff. Never seemed really good to me. Reconnaissance mission could be fun. Some like flying stuff. And then we can go heavy on like bounce removal. That could be good. Let's try blue. Pick reconnaissance mission. Boon solid. Volpikite will be good if we want flyers, or we could go like swarm with some nice quad commandos. I'd have to pick up a lot of commandos to make that work, but it could be good. Black's got a lot of good mutate cards I like playing with too. Volpikite seems like the easiest way to do this, though. If we just go blue-white flyers plus stall, I think that's an archetype that's kind of pretty well baked into this format. Death's Oasis would be fun to build around. I don't know if it's good, though. Whenever a creature dies with top two cards. I don't know if it's open. We're seeing a lot of white here, so we could just safely go white-blue. Or we could try and switch out of this Volpikite reconnaissance mission into Death's Oasis. I have a feeling that Death's Oasis is a little tricky to play with in Limited. Which sounds like a challenge to me. Alright, get out of here, reconnaissance mission. We're playing Abzan. This Frondland is actually really good. So, I don't know if it's going to synergize with anything else we're doing, but I'm going to take it. Creatures with Vigilance get to tap creatures, and it's a 3/5 for 4. Yeah. It's like a really big checkpoint officer. So with Death's Oasis, when creatures die, we can return creatures with less converted mana cost from graveyard to hand. We're going to want a chain of mana costs, so I'll need some 4-drops as well as 3-drops, 2-drops, and 1-drops. A danger with Death's Oasis is it can mill you out because it mills 2 every time a creature dies. So we've got to be careful with how we use our creatures. There's a lot of Abzan stuff. Necropanther's probably pretty solid with this sort of deck. Eerie Ultimatum is a good card. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in here I'd like. Pretty much the whole pack, actually. We'll take the Ultimatum, though. I think we got enough jank for this deck now, so let's focus on getting things to kill our opponent with. Serrated Scorpion, I think, is a good low end for this sort of life chain. It means that when our creatures die, we can get back our Serrated Scorpion, which deals 2 damage to our opponent, and we can eventually just kill them with this recycling. If we pick up Human, Survivor's Bond might be good. I don't know how I feel about Lead the Stampede. I think I want Patagia Tiger. And I say that because Evasion's going to work pretty well for us, I think. Really filling out our top end if I take this Flycatcher. Vigilance works well with the Frondland. I could take Call of the Death Dweller as well. If we've got stuff in our graveyard that we're recycling with Death's Oasis, could be really good. I've never had a lot of luck with Call of the Death Dweller, though. I guess you gotta get the combos for it. It's a good card. I'll take it and see if I can find anything that stands out as particularly useful to me. We'll take... Adventurous Impulse is good for fixing our colors. A lot of these are really good. I'm glad to see all of these Abzan colored cards. Makes me happy that I switched out of blue. Alright, Sudden Spinnerets is a good combat trick. Sabertooth is a good creature though, and we do need to fill out our curve here. I'm going to take the Sabertooth. I've had a lot of good results with it in the past. Let's see. Sergeant is human focused. It is a 3-drop, and that's good for us, but I think either the Coilbug or the Bristling Boar is going to do better. I don't know if I like the Coil. Oh, yeah. Let's go with the Coilbug. Take Mutual Destruction, since we may be recycling creatures. Alright, so I can take Spontaneous Flight here, or Flycatcher Giraffid. It's a good chance to get that Giraffid that I didn't get earlier, and it looks like we're going to be trying to grind them out in card value rather than go Evasion, so I don't know if I'm going to play that Thwart. It's potentially good. Okay, we've got a Kagwa. That's a pretty easy pick for us. No matter what else in the pack, if we get triple green, then we're going to be doing very well with him. On the other hand, triple green's going to be a little hard. We're going to have to... I'm going to take it, and we're going to have to specifically focus on getting some lands that'll help us out here. This Humble Naturalist is probably the pick. We've got a pretty high curve. Yeah, I think I like that. Even over that Easy Prey. We have a pretty high curve. This will help us hit our colors and jump us into 4 mana on turn 3, that sort of thing. Don't really have any cycling going on for this Flourishing Fox. Poacher can be good. Mammoth, quite good. Don't need that Gust of Wind anymore. This is for non-token creatures. Marshall's still pretty solid. Oh, no, I want the Farfinder. I always overlook the Farfinder because it's not in any particular color, but it's exactly what we need for this deck, so that's a good pick. I already have one Mutual Destruction. I think the pick here is Blossoming Sands. It'll help us hit our colors. Sudden Spinnerets is my other consideration. We have a bit of flying in reach between the Tiger, Vulpikeet, and the Flycatcher. I think I might be able to pick up a Spinnerets later. I don't love any of this. I didn't get that boar earlier, so that's a fair pick. Blade Banish is my other option, and again, I'm pretty iffy on Blade Banish. I think we got a pretty high curve so far, so we might just be able to out-creature anything that we wanted to Blade Banish. Alright, so Essence Symbiote fits well on our curve. We don't really have Evolve, though. I mean, we can try and pick them up. I don't know if it's better than a Checkpoint Officer, but I'd like to try it, just as some creatures. This Hemiphagia might be good. That gives us some more of that Evolve that I was talking about. And then when it dies, or when a 5 or 6 cost dies, we can put it back in our hand and mutate again. I think the land's the pick here. I'm not really super excited about any of these. The Sandworm's actually a pretty solid pick. But I like the land. We'll get a lot of creatures over the course of this draft. Again, land. I like this these options here. This is good. Unlikely Aid is pretty reasonable combat trick. especially with the way that our build's looking, where we got some early plays to throw down. We can get another flycatcher, which is pretty good. Since we have Unlikely 8, I don't think we need the spontaneous. Not snare. I'm going to take the flycatcher. Solid footing could go in a deck. We'd have to make some specific picks for it, but I'd rather get the sudden spinnerets. Untapping to block is a great trick for a creature-heavy deck. We're already doing pretty good on cards. We're 21 out of 23 cards that aren't land over here. We've got a whole pack to go to fill it out. I don't usually play Plummet, even though it's in our colors. We're not playing that Mythos. Pacifism's quite reasonable here. Okay, so there's another Mutate. Our creatures aren't super big, so I don't know how good Ram Through will be. Some of them are, though, so it could be quite playable. But between that and another Mutate creature, I think I want this Auricorn. On the other hand, Blitzleech is also quite good. But I've got the Symbiote, so I think I want to try and pick up some Mutates, if possible. There's a second Death's Oasis. I honestly don't know how to feel about that. I think 2 would mill us out too much, but it would add consistency to the deck so that we would usually see 1 in a game. I could just take Divine Arrow or another Serrated Scorpion or a Honey Mammoth. There's a lot of good stuff. And I legit don't know here. Guess I'll take it. I think I'm going to cut it. I think I'll regret that. This fight as 1 seems good. So does Lil the All Hunter, though. How many humans do we actually have? 1. Good old Humble Naturalist. It is indestructible, though. Just free indestructible on a monster. Sometimes on a Naturalist as well. Versus making a creature monstrous when it blocks. We've got a lot of creatures, so I think I'd rather have Will. If they kill something, I can get stuff back, is kind of how it goes. Stormwild's been pretty good for me. We don't have Divine Arrow right now to make it really good. I think I'm going to give it a pass. There's nothing in here I really want. It's between Serrated Scorpion and another Tiger, and I don't think I want a Patagia Tiger. I don't think I'm going to use the Scorpion either, but good to have options. Alright, so the Mole is good here, and I say that because we have nothing in the 3-drops. Plus, if I bring it back with Call, it's got Trample, Death Touch, and Menace, which is pretty good combo. Monstrous Step is also good for us here. Just kind of kills something. Gets good damage in. You can put it on like a Patagia Tiger and just kill them. I think I need the curve though. I wanna start showing up my 3-drops. Well, it's another Frondwin, so we're gonna take out this Bristling Boar. Got 2 Frondwin Felidars. If I can get the Vigilance Mentor, that would be sweet. I think we're a little late in this pack to see it though. It would have to be in the next 2 packs. So with 2 Frondwins, this main serval becomes really good. I don't think I want to main serval though. I need something in the 3-drops that has Vigilance. I'm not going to use any of this. Yeah, that Brushbag does seem like the best pick. Sweet, Auricorn has Vigilance. I mean, 2 Frondwins, these Flycatchers become amazing. We could have gotten a lot of Whisper Squads too. I don't think that's particularly good though. Let's take the cat, because I don't think I'm going to play anything else in there. Ooh, that actually could be... interesting. I mean, they already hit pretty hard, but that'll be even harder. And then we can get a Helix Glider if we want. Alright, we've got a lot of cards to cut down here. I think this is a lot of Vigilance. Now the Solid Footing doesn't do anything for the Auricorn because it deals its square stats, both 4 power and toughness. I think we take the Tiger out though. I'm really high up here. So they kill the Flycatcher Giraffe, we get the Feldar back with our Death's Oasis. I think 2 is too much here. I've got to cut some stuff down. 9, 14, 17 lands. Okay. Don't want this Brushwag. Yeah, the rest of these all look good. The Hemophage is probably a weak one here. It doesn't have any Menace to combo with, and we don't have a lot of Mutate to work with. But it is a 3/3 Death Touch, so it'll trade with the creature and get us back something smaller with the Death's Oasis. I think that's okay. And if we lose one of these, we can get back a 3/3 Death Touch that'll trade with something else. It seems good. There's a good chain of creatures here. Just what we want to keep in the deck. I think I can take the Glider out. Definitely want this Farfinder in. We did pretty good picking up those 3 duels. That should really help our deck's consistency. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we are still pretty high on creatures, and it's mostly in our top end. But I'm not really willing to part with any of these. So I guess we're going to take out Sudden Spinrets. And the reason I'm going with Sudden Spinrets, even though I really like that card, is a lot of our good stuff is already Vigilant, so the surprise of being able to attack and then untap and block is gone. It just isn't going to work as well in our deck. Okay, this looks like a mess of good things. I'm going to give it a game, and then I'm going to see if I want Death's Oasis 2 copies. See if I want to find something to take out and put the Oasis in for. If I don't like my opening hand, I can mulligan. I can draw a new hand, but with 1 fewer card. I guess that rules text is actually a little bit out of date these days. New mulligan rules draw you a full hand to look at before putting 1 back. I wonder if they need to go in and update that. The Demiurge. Alright, Fibblethip. Got all 3 colors. 2 lands to cast an Eerie Ultimatum. I'm sure that this is actually pretty bad. I'm just probably just gonna cycle this Will of the All Hunter. Oh, we got another land, so we're actually doing alright. We need to find a creature to go with. He's gonna cycle his Vantasaur. Don't really know if that means he can be playing white-red. Looks like he is. Got another land. I will not cycle this Will then. We'll keep it around. Checkpoint officer gets in for 1. Alright. Back to 20. That Surgeon's gonna be a problem. I do actually need to get some creatures now. Yeah, if he's gonna play Iron Curve, then we'd better find things to do. Alright, well, Adventurous Impulse, look for stuff. Both these are really good options. I think the Feldar is just the solid pick here. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I've already played my mind. And we will just go ahead and pacifism this sergeant. Might be a little preemptive to spend my removal on that, but that's going to save me 3 damage this turn and probably 3 damage next turn since I'm playing this Frondlin Felidar. I'm going to be spending my mana now, so I want to spend it. Like, since I'm tapping all 4 for this Felidar, I'm not going to have time to cast removal after this. Okay. So that Farfinder, I think, is going to be our next turn's play. We'll play the Farfinder, get a land, and throw it with Mutual Destruction. It's going to work really well. This turn I'm going to play the Felidar. He'll probably play some removal to kill it. Maybe he'll just plan on tapping it down with Checkpoint Officer. Okay, he's got a Cyclone. So that's what his cycling's in here for. That's a little dangerous for me. Okay. Oh man, this is going to be quite good with these Flycatcher Giraffids. So if I attack, I lose nothing. He can't quite get up enough to kill me, so he can either chump block or take 3, so that's fine. We want a Plains with this Farfinder. Yeah, let's take action. And it's basically our hope that he doesn't cycle into something incredible with this Cyclone. That doesn't seem extremely likely to me. I think that he played it, so he probably has some good cycling to do right now. Okay, so he's gonna get Vigilance. None of his stuff has Vigilance yet, so this is okay. He's gonna swing. I've got Unlikely Aid. I know I said I was gonna do Mutual Destruction, but I want to... Okay, he's not gonna Unlikely Aid. Well, let's just tap down his Marmoset. Okay, so we've got a lot of good things to play now. Wish I had something for Flash to throw this Mutual Destruction at Flash speed, but that's okay. If I attack, he can cycle in something impressive. But even if it's something impressive, I can still Unlikely Aid, so I think this is a good attack. And he didn't tap me down with the Checkpoint Officer, so I assume he has something he wants to cycle. Could be dangerous, could be underwhelming. We'll see what happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Just playing it cool. Okay. Alright, so I can either play the Giraffe right now, or I can Mutual Destruction the Keensight Mentor. I don't know what his biggest threat is at the moment. This Marmoset's going to be a problem, but I can just keep tapping it down. I'm going to play the Giraffe to get more stuff on the board. And I might end up taking some damage from something scary that pops down. Okay, it didn't cycle. Okay. I'm glad I played a big guy then. I still may end up taking a bit of damage, but I'm at 19. I'm not scared yet. So let's go to combat. I haven't tapped down his creatures. If he wants to try and do an ambitious double or triple block, something like that, then I've got Unlikely Aid. Okay, I think he's... Oh, he's not going to lose the... Okay. Well, he can't actually... I was worried he's going to cycle and then pump the Marmoset. This seems like a good opportunity to kill one of these two, and I think the Marmoset's the danger here. So let's just kill the Marmoset. And play out a Serrated Scorpion. So all my stuff's pretty much bigger than his. I can tap down threats with this Felidar. It's going to be difficult until he finds some burn to make headway against me. I'm doing his officer so that he can't tap down my stuff. Oh, Kagwa. We are still a forest away. Maybe should have gotten that forest there. Let's see. I'm gonna turn on control because I do want to tap down his mentor now. Tap like that. That. So that gets me quite a bit of damage through. He can still cycle to make stuff though, so I'm kind of wishing that I saved my unlikely. He's gonna get some creature. Okay. Cast a Patagia Tiger. Which is not enough to kill anything of mine, so I kind of got off easy here. Well, no, you know, and he can kill not either of my big important characters. Still get 7 damage in. And I'm just going to play this Garafid with the intent of going for lethal next turn. I'm going to tap down blockers and kill with Serrated Scorpion. I may not have the option at the moment, though. So you can only cycle... you can cycle 2 things and tap down quite a bit. So this is a little tricky. Depends on how much cycling he actually has. Still able to Eerie Ultimate him quite a bit back into play. Huh. How much does this cost to mutate? 4. The Snare Tacticians are quite troublesome. I'm going to get rid of the tiger right now. And I'll go ahead and play the Auricorn, which means I can't tap down any of his stuff this turn. If he wants to cycle now for creatures, he can. I'm not going to attack because... oh, he tapped his mana. I could have gotten in some damage. Oh, okay, he conceded. It's a little difficult. Fronlund Veladar is pretty crazy. But that Cyclone was quite dangerous for me. He may not have had the cycling, but I couldn't really risk it. It's an interesting deck. And that deck seemed to function okay without the Death's Oasis that time. I don't think I need 2. I think it'll be a fun card when it pops up, but having creatures this good... And I'll have to remember if I search for a land, probably best to get a forest, because hitting 3 forest will be a little harder than hitting double white for Eerie Ultimatum. Alright, we've got a pretty sweet curve. Opponent is red, so their removal might be just damage based. Play our top land first. So I guess Symbiote, and then Vulpikeet, it'll become a 4/5, which is out of burn range. Cycles Monstrous Step. Alright, red-green, I'm guessing he's going to be running ram through type effects, so having a big creature may be the most important thing. Let's see. It is possible he attempts to ram through, in which case I want to unlikely aid. I think it might just be better to get big, though. If I'm a 4-5, he can't rock cycle me next turn. Let's just see how far we can get on a dumb creature. We're just gonna make a Vulpikeet real big. That Frondlin's pretty great. Alright, we're gonna gain quite a bit of life. And he needs to kill this thing now, or I have lethal next turn. That's fun. If he plays Plummet, I'll be amused, and then lose. Oh, okay. We've won, but this is pretty terrifying. This has reach, okay. Sweet. We got all the mutate cards, and they didn't have hard removal. That strategy you do really have to be careful of, because if they just slap down some sort of pacifism or mutual destruction, you've spent a lot of time investing into one creature that is now dead. Now, I like it with the Essence Symbiote and the Hemophage because I did gain quite a bit of life off of it. Okay, this is sketch. I don't think this is keepable. We have 2 lands and nothing that we can cast. I like this a lot better. Yeah, I like the Oricorn, but I think this will pull us into the mid-game a lot better. Okay, this Death's Oasis could do us well. I'm gonna try and play it later though, because, well, maybe not. It does mill 2 before, so that's okay. Play our own Firefinder, and we will get a Forest. So I remember what Kogla is. Oh, these Farfinders have Vigilance? That's lovely. That Parcel Beast is bad news for us. I would like a Mutual Destruction immediately. May I please have a Mutual Destruction? I mean, no Mutual Destruction for me. Let's see. So Frondland can block the Parcel Beast. I'm not sure that's a good idea, because then one Fire Prophecy or Flame Spill will kill Frondland, which is basically all I have going for me. Although I do have the Death's Oasis. I'll play it. If he has that Rock Slide, that'll be pretty good for him. But I can Death's Oasis and then Flycatcher. And it's still going to be a huge uphill battle because I can't do anything about this Parcel Beast until I get a Mutual Destruction. I think that's pretty much the only way out of this for me. Unless I get a lucky attack. Like, next turn I can draw a Swamp, play Death's Oasis, and then save Unlikely Aid, so that he attacks... He wouldn't attack into this, though. There's no point for him to attack while I have a 3-5, unless he has a combat trick. I mean, that'd be a pretty good way to get past his Flame Spill, if that's what he does. Yeah. Does not look good. Okay, so I can play Unlikely Aid. Now let's just give it a shot. He'll either block or he won't. If he blocks, because it'd be foolish not to, then we can Unlikely Aid. Really hope I don't just eat instant speed removal. Did we do it? Maybe he's right now thinking, why did I block? That's okay, you drew like 4 cards off Partial Beast, it's good. It's a good card. His hand's well stocked. But if we get this through, then Death's Oasis should take care of us with card advantage. Alright, let's see what else we can do. Get an Adventurous Impulse going here. I'd like a Swamp or a Forest, or... oh, I guess I'll get exactly what I asked for. Let's... have any double black? I don't, so let's just get the Forest, and we're covered on Kogla mana now. And now we're on the aggro, because any creature he plays, we can tap down on this turn and swing. Pyroceratops. The Pyroceratops. I think it's scientific pronunciation. Sudden Spinreds would be pretty sweet for him right now. Well, no, I could always just tap it down again in response. Okay, let us go to combat. See if he's got anything sneaky for blue. He does not. And I will simply play a Death's Oasis. This could run into a negate. Or Essence Scatter, so... can't really tell. I think this is something. I just don't know what. It's a Fire Prophecy. Oh, that's pretty good. My Firefinder is essentially a checkpoint officer at the moment, so it's a good play. However, if any of my creatures die now, I can get the Firefinder back. Could have pacifismed here. I guess I'm just going to rely on the Felidar right now. Yeah, we'll pacifism one of these two. Nope, not yet. Go to combat. 2 attackers attack. Tap down, so I want to be dealing damage to this guy. I can remove full combat. Play Flycatcher with Vigilance, of course. He can punch me back for a lot now. Maybe he goes for Go for Blood, kills the Flycatcher, and swings for 10. Could be pretty good. Alright. Heightened Reflexes kills the Giraffid. Let's see it if you have it. If he kills it, I get Jump Blocker with Farfinder and get to go Symbiote or Pacifism. I think I'm okay with how that turns out. He plays Fertilid. Seems good. Seems very good. That is a great ability. Unfortunately, it tapped his mana wrong, so he doesn't get the Flycatcher kill. However, I think we're in a bit of trouble here. The Scorpion's sweet, though. Veer pleased with getting that. He can't kill either of these guys. Right, this should be a safe attack. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Okay, that's fine. And then we will throw out Scorpion. I want to put this pacifism on something too, because I think now is a good time to do so. But I don't know what. I don't know if the Ceratopsid is more dangerous than the Smasher. I have a suspicion it is over time. But they're both kind of just big beat sticks. I think the Ceratopsid is going to get bigger. He's got 3 cards in hand. It doesn't take much for it to get... No. Well, I have regret. That was a good keep safe. Okay, so I can play the Symbiote. I don't think it's good, though. Symbiote versus tapping down 2 of his guys. It kind of equates to the same thing, but Symbiote stays in my hand. So let's just tap down his 2 big attackers. And we can either block with a Scorpion or he can use his Fire Prophecy to kill it and get 4 damage in. That's not a good sign. He is going to mutate onto his Dracus, I think. Get the Fire Prophecy back, and then cast it again. But it's okay, unless it gets exiled by something, and I don't think Fire Prophecy does, we can get it back by exchanging a Flycatcher. Alright, so this is going to become even bigger, so 7 damage. Yeah, we want to tap this down. Some Death Touch would be good here. Not that great because the Sanctuary Smasher is still big. Alright. Veladar goes to the graveyard. We get the Firefinder back. We chump block. Alright, we've got quite a few cards in our discard pile, or in our deck, so I think we may be okay. Oh, there's a Mutual Destruction. Lovely. I'm gonna get a Swamp. And we're gonna do this lovely number. We're gonna sacrifice our Symbiote to get rid of his lore, Dracus. And we're gonna put back a straight Scorpion. Alright. So this can be pretty difficult for him to attack into. Our only danger is milling ourselves out first. Not impossible for him to attack into. Never said that. So we're gonna mill again. And look at the Frondland. We'll do this. Mill some more. Essence Symbiote. Drain 2 more. Yeah, I think milling ourselves is the largest danger at the moment. Let's see. If he has a ram through, we probably lose. And we might just lose anyways. I think we need to draw a very cheap creature, and I'm not sure we have something that'll fit the bill right now. Kogla. Very good card. Doesn't save us. No, does it? I think we're still in danger of milling out, but I can kill the Sanctuary Smasher. Kogla 7/6. Alright. We lost. Yes, I thought it was the other way around. Alright, we lose. Close. Death's Oasis, definitely don't want to win. Need another Death Toucher. If we had that Boot Nipper, that would be incredible. I don't remember seeing any Boot Nippers, though. So what needed to happen is if I had fought the Spell Eater instead, I think we could have been okay. It would have all come out basically to the same thing. Let's get our Serrated Scorpion out. Get in for one. I think we're doing okay on land, so I don't intend to cycle this Will of the All-Hunter. Alright, so he's stuck on blue. If he has any other colors, he's digging for them with that. Unfortunately, we don't have a fast start to really punish it. I don't want the Death's Oasis out in play yet, but I don't want to have to cast it later, so I'm doing it now. I would rather wait for my Serrated Scorpion to die first. Okay, he's got a Death Touch. Let's go. Want to trade? This is a reasonable blocker for the Boot Nipper, so I'm doing 1 damage and taking 2 with this interaction, but I want to set up for him to be attacking me, because I want to catch something with Will of the All-Hunter. Okay. Well, I'm probably not going to now, since Boot Nipper is a menacing Death Toucher, but let's see what we can play. Savia Sabertooth, so these two can team up and kill the Boot Nipper. Or I can just keep attacking. I'm gonna see if we can get some sort of combat trick going on. He's gonna play it slow and pump up his boot nipper. That's annoying, but okay. I'm gonna cycle the will now. I want to find something to break through this board a little bit. Huntress Impulse is a fine card. Let's see. Flycatcher or Adventurous Impulse. I'd like to keep Unlikely Aid mana up. These decks are removal heavy. So let's Impulse. See if I can get a Forest. I cannot. However, flying is pretty sweet. I'm not going to do it now because I want Unlikely Aid. Got plenty of mana. Haven't really seen much of his deck yet, so I don't know what he's going to pull out with 7. He seems content to just play removal and this Duskfang Mentor Boot Nipper combo. If I can get another Forest, I'd be pretty fine throwing Kogla right into the Boot Nipper, I think. Goes 1 for 1, and then I can get Fondland back. He's not biting. He's scared. Alright, so we can Vulpikeet into the air for 3 on the Scorpion. Or I can go 4 on the Sabertooth. In any case, he gets to swing back for quite a bit. I think I'd rather just Flycatcher. This can attack into him without having to worry about evasion. And if he kills it, I get my Fondland back. Which will kind of just lock down the Boot Nipper until he kills the Fondland again. And I've got 6 mana, so I can play the Fondland and keep up Unlikely Aid. So I can attack here. I am happily willing to trade both of these for the Boot Nipper. It probably won't end up like that. He'll probably Unlikely Aid it or something. Blood Curdle to Flycatcher, but at that point he's basically just killing my Serrated Scorpion, so okay. Doesn't want to block, of course. Blitz Leech would be quite good, though, if I go for the double block. And I would expect that. I expect him to have that. So my Sabertooth would just have to go into the defense mode for the Blitz Leech, which is fine. Blue-black just has too many flash things to really account for all the possibilities. At the end of the day, he's going to do something to mess with me, and the best thing I can do is just keep my mana up. Which I failed to do this time, but I think it was reasonable to play stuff. Okay, well, that's our Archipelago. Talking about things that you can do with 7 mana. We're basically just going to lose, is how this works. Unless I draw Mutual Destruction, in which case we kind of get a free pass at winning almost. This feels like 2 games ago where I just made a big mutate monster. That's not a Kogla. So I can attempt to block it. He'll go to 9 power. So my Flycatcher all could, in theory, deal with this, but you literally know that's not going to happen. Instead, he will do something to kill one of my creatures, and I'll kill nothing of his. All my guys die. Instead, I need to chump block with a Giraffe to get the Frondwind back, and then tap down his Archipelagor. Basically the only way. I've got Unlikely Aid, so this might actually go okay. He might confidently attack. Is this 2? No. So he doesn't need a Blitz Leech. He's going to put a counter on the Archipelagor this turn. And then it'll be a 10-10 on my turn. That's if he doesn't have a mutate. If he has a mutate, then I don't even know what I'll do. Chump block with whatever he gives me to chump block with, hopefully a Flycatcher. He did not, he just swings. Okay, so if he has Blitz Leech and this, then we will probably lose. How likely is it that he has a Blitz Leech or some other spell to protect it? Oh, it's got Menace. Alright. Alright. Let's see it. Play a removal spell. Yeah. That's all I got. If he has a removal or a Blitz Leech, then we're pretty much toast. Yeah. Alright. Frondwind won't save me. I guess I could have tried to top deck the Mutual Destruction. Conceded a turn too early. I like this deck. I hope I can win with another one with it. Get a couple more games in. I like how it plays. It's got a nice curve to it. And by that I mean it has a lot of beefy stuff at the 4 and 5 spots. Just didn't pack enough removal into it to take care of that game. Needed that pacifism or Mutual Destruction. Would have taken a Dire Tactics for this deck too. Or a Blood Curdle, that would have been great. Just more stuff to make it hard for him to block. Nope, I'm gonna mulligan this. Despite our attempts to fix our mana, we are not having the greatest success. Get back to Death's Oasis. Need to draw a swap to play it as well as creatures to die. Not gonna rely on it. Alright, so our opponent has a Yorion deck, which means I have to be prepared to deal with a 4 or 5 flyer. So these Flycatchers might end up with Reach instead of Vigilance. Could be a white-red cycling deck, but cycle is just a good idea if you're playing a very large deck. It helps you minimize the impact of playing a 60-card deck in a limited format. Alright, well, we've drawn most of the lands we'll need this game. Oh. I can only assume he's loaded up on removal then. Oh jeez, a Macro Sage. Alright. Okay. Man, I have drawn pretty much in the reverse order anything I want to draw. Let's get Reach. This Adventurous Impulse would have been good any time in the last 4 turns, and now it's just mediocre at best. Yeah, we're not gonna block. Now is a fine time to just slam down Yorian, to be honest. Draws 2 more cards. Yeah, I think our run's gonna be over, but we're not dead yet. We got a Will of the All-Hunter, we just need him not to have a Capture Sphere. Which, I think I would have probably played the Capture Sphere instead of Yorian if that were the case. I'm gonna take the Scorpion for the tempo. As much as I want this Frondland, oops. We need the Scorpion in play. For Mutual Destruction next turn. And if he's just got removal, this Whirlwind's gonna bury us. I kinda wanna just give up right now. We got Death's Oasis. Yeah, all the best cards are at the bottom of our deck. Alright. Well, if he doesn't have Negate, then we might get a good 2-for-1 here. Or 1-for-0, I guess. Will the All-Hunter for a Macro Sage. But you never know. If he counters, then I'll probably just concede. And I guess counters fit perfectly in with this Whirlwind. He just convolutes right now and we lose. Did we do it? Flame Spill. Alright. Hopefully he doesn't have too many more Flame Spills. Alright, so we want to Mutual Destruction as Yorian, because I definitely need a way to get rid of that. Well, let's get that 1 point of combat damage in first. We did it. Practically won the game. It's all downhill from here. We can top deck a Frondland and resolve it. There might be a fighting chance. It's over, we lost. There's nothing we can do. There actually isn't at this point. We can get an Eerie Ultimatum, is what we can do. So that's what I'm playing towards. He's incentivized to play non-creature spells, so I am trying to avoid combats. That was a safe attack because he didn't really have a whole lot he could play other than the heightened reflexes, which would have blown me out again. But I think that was a very good trade for me. That Boar is not going to grow in size and become literally impossible for me to deal with. And there's no chance of him playing a big pump spell anymore. Alright, Excavation Mole. Break my heart. Put Eerie Ultimatum and Frondland in. Ugh. Alright, nope. Combat is pointless. So normally I would be very tempted to put both of these guys in front of the Cloud Piercer, but like I just said, he can play combat tricks now and just blow me out, so I need to avoid that. I just have to take this 5 points of damage. if he has cycling, he could have done a weird trick where he can activate Hornbash Mentor and then cycle or put the Hornbash Mentor out of play and back into play on top of his own trigger to put a trample onto Cloudpiercer to pump Cloudpiercer. It's not a great thing to do, but it's a thing that you can do. Alright, we are in top decking Eerie Ultimatum mode, which would give us a little bit. So now cycling eats my Flycatcher, so I'm not going to do that. I don't know if he has cycling in his hand, but I kind of have to assume so. That Bristling Boar is really good. Better without trample, but he can solve that. So now we face whatever combat trick he has. It's gonna have to be a +3 in order to kill both of my creatures. Oh, he just trades, that's fine. He's got the card advantage, so he can afford to play it safe. Pacifism. Okay. That's not gonna do much for me because of Escape Protocol. We'll try it. I swear, if he plays Keep Safe... Okay. He can get rid of the pacifism by cycling. It's fine. It's whatever. It's all I can do. He didn't, so I'm guessing he does not have cycling in his hand at this point. We are definitely going to take this because we're in Pray for Ultimatum mode, so more things in my discard is ideal. I don't think he should have offered that trade. I think he could have pumped his Pyroceratops indefinitely with it. But maybe he's got, like, Survivor's Bond just to kick me. Yeah, it looks like he's targeting it now. Alright, seems good. Draw all your cards. We just drew our deck in the wrong order. So it's Eerie Ultimatum or Bust now. He's gonna go for Yorion. Gets his Bristling Boar back. And I think that's about it. Oh, so close. Nope, I'm dead. Alright, well, I guess I shouldn't bother putting Eerie Ultimatum in a deck, because I'm never going to draw it, I guess. And it was a little too hard on the mana for this deck anyways. Well, that was a cool deck. I'm pretty disappointed with not getting to play it some more. Let's see if I would have played anything differently. I still think leaving out Sudden Spinnerets was the right idea. Death's Oasis was okay. I think Kagwa and Eerie Ultimatum might have been mistakes. Just take these out and put in more stuff down here. Kagwa is a really good card, especially in Limited, but not in a 3-color deck. I think that was too greedy of me. Probably put in... I don't think Lifelink would have done it. Solid Footing would have been an okay combat trick for this deck, but I think it just needed some more removal, and I don't really have more removal. Maybe a Thwart the Enemy would have been appropriate with all of my Vigilance. I could have gone for some really greedy blocks, bait them into playing something like a kill spell, and then Thwart the Enemy. Yeah, I probably would have looked more like this, I think. And Call probably was not the right choice. I could get back some decent cards, but nothing amazing. I should have cut that and put in... I don't know. Brushwhack's okay. Garrison Cat would have bought me more time to get up to the top end. And it's pretty cute with Death's Oasis, but I'm not sure it's good with Death's Oasis. It'd probably just result in me milling out more. Oasis is probably not the right card for draft in a lot of cases. It did get me, the one time I was really leaning into it, I did almost mill myself out. So, I like it. I like it as a card. I don't know if I like it for draft. Having Immortal Creatures is really good, though. So maybe if there's a way to shuffle stuff into your deck, play with Yorion, maybe play a 60-card deck. That would have been nice. I probably would have tried to play Yorion. We might have had the cards for it. But that was a draft. Pretty quick for quick 5 games 2 and 3, not a great record, but I'll try again for Wednesday. We'll see what we can put up. Maybe we'll get a better showing for it. I think next week I'm going to drop down to 1 draft a week, but we still got the Friday show going on every Friday, so you can see us drafting again on Wednesday, and I'll be back on Friday.